Hey everyone, it is Women Crush Wednesday, and it is your girl Kimberly back again with another edition of our Women Crush Wednesday. And this Wednesday, the woman that's crushing it is me. I usually have someone every Wednesday where we talk about what they do, how they're crushing it. And so today it's me. So a little bit about me. Let me introduce myself to you. I don't even know if I've done this even on the first edition, but I'm a mom of three. My daughter, she'll be 26 next month. My middle son will be 14 this month, at the end of this month. And then my youngest son is 6. I've been married for 15 years to my husband, the same husband or same guy. That's the dad of my 26-year-old daughter. And I served 20 years in the Navy, active duty for 20 years. I retired last year. So, completely different lifestyle than what I was living the last 20 years because I was constantly kind of on the go. We moved a lot. My kids went to multiple, my daughter for sure went to multiple schools. My middle child went to multiple elementary schools also. And so now we're in a location where we've been in one place for the longest amount of time. And we've been here in Georgia for almost actually 4.5 years now, which is the longest place we've been in the last 20 years. And so for that, I'm very grateful. Um, but also, I do Mary Kay as well. And now I get to do it full time. But I've been building my Mary Kay business for 11 years. And never in a million years did I think I would do anything like Mary Kay. Like, that wasn't my thing. Like, I was in the Navy, I was on ships. Like, I wasn't into makeup. Still don't wear that much makeup now. But makeup just wasn't my thing. I wasn't really a girly girl per se. But I mean, I knew, makeup, but I just didn't partake in it, I guess. And so Mary Kay came into my life 11 years ago, and I haven't looked back since. Absolutely love this business. I love the philosophy that it's God first, family second, and career third. And what am I most excited about right now? Because that's a question that I normally ask our guests. Like, okay, what are you most excited about your business right now? And I would say one thing that I'm most excited about is seeing other people win. I love celebrating other people's successes and seeing them win, but not only just seeing them win, but seeing them start to believe in themselves winning, which is a big deal. Because in Mary Kay, I work with a lot of women, and for whatever reason, sometimes the self confidence isn't as high as it can be, or sometimes they're unsure of what they can actually do. And so, seeing them come out of their shell, increase their confidence, and just start to believe that they can win, and then starting to see themselves win is a big deal. I love doing that. I love celebrating people as they achieve different things in their business also. So why did I decide to start my Mary Kay business? I guess is the question that I usually ask to. And I'll tell you, it wasn't a decision, like it wasn't like I thought about it or anything like that, because a lot of times I'm a decision maker and I just make a decision pretty quickly and I don't have to think about it. Sometimes I might wish I didn't make that decision, but a lot of times it's like, okay, ask me a question, I'm gonna make a decision pretty quickly. And so one of the girls that was on a ship with me, she had started her business. And I ended up doing a training call for her so that she could earn her pearls. And from that call, I had never tried the products before. I didn't even know if I would like the products. I really didn't even know much about Mary Kay either. And I decided to start my business. I was like, is this going to help her in her business? And the answer was yes. And I decided to start my business. And that was it. It was not a big decision, it was just like, okay, yeah, I'll start. And then from there, I learned how to work my business. I learned about the products, and I just kind of learn as you go, right? You just learn as you go. I love that the training is free. You don't have to pay for the training, and the training is phenomenal, and you can do it at your own pace in your own time. So how did I work this business and also do my full-time job and was a mom, and moms of sports athletes? My son is at football practice right now, which I will be running to go pick him up here in a little bit. But how did I work my job in the Navy? And I was working about 70 to 80 hours a week sometimes, and then still be pretty successful at Mary Kay at the same time. um, I'll tell you, it's all about time management. How do you manage your time, right? I knew I had about this much time to work my business. Like only, I mean, like very little, very tiny amount of time to work my business. And I was really intentional in that small amount of time in working my business also, just to make sure that I got the necessary things that needed to get done in that short amount of time. That way I can spend time with my kids, spend time with my husband, and wake up in the morning and then do it all over again, going back to work and getting my PT in and getting off of work at like 7, 8 o'clock at night, and then coming home and having a small amount of time, if I even had that small amount of time that day, because not every day I work on business either. And so just doing that, when I could and just being consistent with it, just allowed me to build and grow my business along the way as I continue to work my business also. So if someone was starting their business today or was thinking about starting their business today, what advice would I give them? So I would say, and I heard someone say this, and I can't even remember who said this, but when you start something like Mary Kay, right? It could be anything, any business, right? And a lot of times people start because they want to better themselves. They want to better their life. They want to better their situation. They want to better themselves financially. It's always to just be better, to do something better, right? And I would say, when you start something like this, you're not in a marriage, right? You're not committed. You don't have to be 100% committed, because I think it's tough to be 100% committed. Think about it on your job. Like, you're not 100% committed. You're texting people while you're on your job that has nothing to do with your job. You're probably making phone calls to people that have nothing to do with your job, right? You're checking email that's not job related. So you're not 100% committed. And people would tell me like, "Oh, if I do it, I got to be 100% committed on anything that I try." And that's not the case. You don't have to be 100% committed. You can't be 100% committed. So it's not a marriage. It's not a marriage. It's kind of like you're going on a date, right? And you're checking it out and seeing if you like it. And if you like it, guess what? You go on a second date. And if you don't like it, don't go on a date anymore. Just stop. But if you like it, you dip your toes in the water a little bit, you like it, then you go a little further in the water, you like it more, you go a little further in the water, you like it more. And before you know it, you look back, you have a pretty good, solid business as you've started to build your business. And so that's what I would say. My advice would be is to just dip your toes in the water, see if you like it. If you like it, great, keep going. And if you don't like it, just stop. It's not a big deal. I promise you, it is not a big deal at all. Well, thank you so much for joining me on Women Crush Wednesday. Same place, same time next week. And we'll see who our special guest will be. Have a good night.